Good morning. Thank you for being here. So this is our productivity and collaboration event. The cloud is, of course, mainstream in things like CRM, even project management, all of that, while it's still in something like productivity, very core Office suite. Most of us are not using the cloud yet. So that's actually part of what I'm going to talk about, what the innovation that is happening in this space. So when we think of productivity, well, we think of doing more and more and more stuff, getting more done, right? But I'm a little bit of Buddhist in this. I also think of a different way. There's at least 5 years, actually probably longer. There's a lot of things I have not done, and I don't miss doing. I have not actually backed up my computer ever. I don't worry about backup at all anymore. I've not installed a piece of backup on any of my computers. And that's I counted at least 5 devices I use on a regular basis. My official laptop, which is a MacBook Pro, then my home laptop, which is a MacBook Air. Then I have a Chromebook in the office, a Chrome box. It's a big screen one, just for fun. And then I have my iPhone 6 Plus. I also use an Android Nexus phone in India. Right, so I travel with that. So all of these, it's a lot cheaper to just have an Indian cell phone account and the US account rather than do international roaming. So the nice thing with all this, and I access information, my documents, email, Connect, Post, project management, or CRM, all of it on all these devices. Randomly, I just, this morning I used 3 devices to check in on this presentation, putting finishing touches. One at home, and then when I came into the office, and then once in my iPhone last minute check. And I have not actually run antivirus, and well, part of the reason is, of course, generally Macs are safer, but Chromebook is, I'm in guest mode all the time. There's really nothing running on it. And this is crucial. This actually is so huge for me personally. I just don't pay attention to where my documents are. I don't worry about it at all. I just bring it up whenever I need. That's it. Whatever device I have, I just log in and we have 2-factor authentication enabled, so it is secure. It's only my device I can log in because I have to have my cell phone in order to log in, which I always have with me. So this is the productivity of not having to do. It's something that we don't pay enough attention, in my opinion. And to me, that is perhaps the first thing, the immediate benefit of the cloud. Just to experience this alone, the cloud is worth it. It really untethers you from a specific device, any device at all. And that's true for laptops, desktops, phones, all of them. And it could be native apps, it could be web apps. Again, you're not worried. You can I just frequently upgrade my apps, delete them, add them back, all of that. And I don't worry about what data is there, not there, because it's all there in the cloud somewhere, sitting there. And it's a huge boost to personal, that's the emphasis, the personal productivity. That is the key. Without any other benefit, this alone was worth it. That's actually why, in fact, this is why we actually started the Cloud Productivity Suite, and we persisted with it. We knew the technology had a lot of catching up to do in the beginning, but to me, just this alone, that not having to worry about where my documents are, where my presentation is. This presentation went through, it was touched by at least 4 different people, but all only one version. And I got design help, I got these images on various things came from various people, but they're all assembled together in one place all the time. And we always were on the latest version. We didn't have any version conflict, nothing. So this is, I call that phase 1 of the cloud, which is what we've been on in the last several years, maybe almost 10 years, where it's emergence of the cloud as a technology. And in this phase, what tends to happen, whenever this new technology arrives, you notice something. Most people bring the same kind of applications they were using. And this is absolutely true in the productivity space so far. Same kind of application, you've just brought it to the cloud. Still, as I mentioned, that's not trivial. That actually confers a huge personal productivity boost. That freedom of not having to worry about where your documents are is simply untethered, unchained from any device. And this was so evident. I recently switched my Android phone. I mean, I have my iPhone. I also switched my Android phone from an old Samsung to a new Nexus. I simply just wiped it clean and just started the new phone up and logged in. Everything was there. That's it. I just installed the apps and I'm done. But once the technology matures, that medium is mastered. Software developers, artists, all of them figure out how to use this new medium, cloud medium. And this is the phase where I'm saying the cloud goes native. It's something that's ingrained in us. This is how we work. And in Zoho, we are actually in that phase right now. I know in the broader world of users, it's not true yet, but in Zoho, this is the stage we are in. Cloud goes native. And one of the benefits of this going native, what we have found, it changes the way teams work together. So the emphasis on teams. We went from that personal productivity, which is what productivity is always been really about, personal productivity. In fact, the personal productivity tools often subtracted from group productivity with all that version conflicts, emailing stuff around and all of that. This is where what we have seen by going native to the cloud, we have seen a tremendous impact on team productivity. And this is powered by innovation native to the cloud. Something that you will only come up with if you are thinking cloud, thinking mobile, thinking cloud all the time. And this presentation itself is an example of that. It's just a really good showcase of this kind of an innovation where I show this here and you are following it along on your own devices, whatever that device may be. And we have an app for it and we have, from your browser, all of it. And that's just simply, this is not possible without the cloud. This is not possible if I'm not connected and you're not connected. All of us are connected right now. That's why it's possible. And that is something that connectivity is something now we can take for granted more and more and more. It's, in 2005, people would ask, what's the offline? I want to work offline. But increasingly in our company, in Zoho, we have noticed nobody works offline. Everybody is only online. And if the Wi-Fi fails, well, you have the 4G. You tether the laptop to your 4G. That's what we have seen. And that's what I do personally. All the time, it's only online. And that Showtime is an example of it. And you are already in production, you are seeing it. But this time I'm going to actually show a different thing, an innovation that's completely different. I'm going to show you today. First, let's step back. In 2005, we launched Zoho Writer, the word processor. And that's actually our very first cloud application. In fact, we are known a lot for CRM today. In fact, mostly for CRM. A lot of people know us for CRM. But our very first cloud application actually turns out to be our word processor. But we knew even then going in that it would be a 10-year trek in order to actually get to that full-fledged, really good Office suite. We knew it going in, which is why we did CRM and all of those other things too, because we knew the cloud is going to take off in all of those products first, but we needed to invest in order to have a really powerful Office suite. What we have found is that it really unlocks the power of teams, particularly distributed teams like in our company. Very often the document is authored in one place and it's reviewed in another place, and then a third person somewhere else publishes it. There's a lot of these going on in our company. And in fact, we built all of these with our own reviewers, our own authors, all of them giving constant feedback to the development team that we need these. This has to be better. This is not clear. It's all that craftsmanship has gone into this. This is really the power of the cloud coming in. That personal productivity, it now enables team productivity. Think about all of the hassles this has saved. Even when you have a central repository, you have to check out a document, you have to edit it, you have to check back in, and then the track changes on, the original owner has to go through it. There is a lot of these version conflicts. All of them simply go away here. And we keep track of all the old versions too, automatically. Always we keep the history. There is one thing that we are been a cloud company. We have also been a mobile company in the last 5 years. We have actually now an extremely vibrant mobile scene in the company. More and more. In fact, I have myself noticed that about 40% of my work time actually is on my phone. They're checking email or reviewing the presentation, reviewing a document. All of these actually happen on the phone now. Let me come to that last phase of that revolution. At first, we shape our tools. Then, of course, the tools shape us. If you look at where all this cloud revolution is heading, you notice our tools enable a fluid interaction. So tools appear when you need them. There's something very fluid about these. Less rigid, less, there's a lot more of that fluidity. That's the right word. And this has an impact. What we have seen in Zoho, our culture becomes a lot more fluid. And this is the phase where that whole organization transformation, these tools are not just, we don't just shape them. We are now, our whole organizations are going to be shaped by them, and that revolution is complete. So with that thought, I'm going to finish my keynote. Thank you.